Chapter 13. Why was my blind date sweating like that? I stared at the swirling river of glistening liquid that rushed down the sides of his face like water rapids racing to merge in an ocean of body fluids. They were pooling at the center of his chin. Drip, 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 drop. Drip, 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 drop. My eyes widened in shock as I watched the sweat leap from his face and land inches from his dinner plate. I waited anxiously for him to reach for a dinner napkin and dry his face, but he didn't. I tried not to frown and show my obvious dismay. Did the man have a gland problem? How was he functioning? Did he have a thyroid problem? Did he even realize that the sweat was pouring off of him? I continued to gawk. Stare, 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 blink. Stare, 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 blink. He didn't seem to notice my reactions. He instead smiled at me and picked up his fork. I was trying desperately to remember his name. I know Miranda introduced him to me before we took our seats at the table. Was it Brian? Dennis? Oh, I can't remember. I squeezed my eyes tight, trying to bring the information forward. I open my eyes when I hear Miranda's voice. Tamala, are you okay? Is there something wrong? My eyes dart to the face of my friend. Hell yes! Who is this man? I can't remember his friggin' name. And why did you hook me up with this dude? He obviously has a medical condition. I pretended to smile. I'm fine. I frantically reached for my fork and knife. I cut into the very thick and appetizing steak. It smells delicious. For one momentary moment, I forget about my date. I forget about Miranda's date, who, by the way, wasn't much better than mine. I continue to speak. I've never eaten at a steakhouse. I glanced quickly around the exclusive restaurant. This place is amazing. The food is completely gourmet. Troy, that's his name. My head explodes with the answer. I glance once again at my date. I'm trying to be very polite. I'm trying desperately to be a good date. I speak. Troy, thank you for dinner. That's okay, Tamala, he said enthusiastically. I'm glad that you're enjoying yourself. Me too. I smiled awkwardly. My words froze in my throat as I watched Troy scoop some mashed potatoes on his fork and then shove the utensil across the table in my direction. He grinned. There you go. I love the way they prepare the potatoes. I dropped my fork and knife. They hit the table with a dab, dump. Ugh. I jerked my head back from the approaching food and leaped frantically to my feet. Did he expect me to eat from his fork? You've got to be kidding. This can't be happening to me. I immediately search out the eyes of Miranda, and I squeak out the words, "Excuse me, I need to use the ladies' room right away." Miranda quickly got the message and jumped to her feet. She smiled politely at her date and said, "Robbie, I'll be right back in a second. Try not to miss me." I wanted to gag at her comment. She couldn't be serious. I'm completely done. This date has got to be over. I couldn't even wait for my friend Miranda to catch up with me as I ran to the nearest bathroom. This night is definitely going down as one of the worst dates I've ever had.